And welcome to day 3 of the 30-day live challenge. I'm out here walking, out here getting in shape, out here trying to, you know, finish up these 30 days, man. Listen, thank you for joining me today. As y'all tune in, go ahead and like this, share this, comment, engage in the comment section so we can talk about this. I'm excited about today's topic. Like I said, this is day 3 of the 30-day challenge. For those of you who missed the last 2 days, go ahead and go back and watch those videos. They're up on YouTube. They're up on Facebook. Trying to figure out a way to go live on Instagram as well. But yeah, so we here today. Want to talk about taking a breather. Okay, dating after divorce. That's a big one, and I'm excited to have that conversation because it's a lot of insight, a lot of things that I've learned over the last 4 years. I want to share it with you guys because I want you guys to experience some of the freedoms that I've experienced, that I'm experiencing, and want you guys to heal up right after divorce. So, um, if you haven't, like I said, if this is your first day tuning in, the next 30 days, well, was it 27 days now? 28 days? Next 27 days, I'll be going live every day uh, over various topics. Just want to reintroduce myself to the world, reestablish the brand, reestablish my messaging, just because I want to help some people out, man. Because when I went through my divorce, there wasn't a lot of resources. There wasn't a lot of things out there to help me. And from my experience and the things that I learned, I want to share with other people so that if they're in this process, they have some help. If they're thinking about going through this process, they either reconsider or prepare. You know, so let's dive into this. So, um, the dating scene after divorce is different, man. Dating in general is different. You know, if you look at society today and how we have this fast-paced dating scene, this is what I tell people. Before I got married in what 2010, so it's been what 13 years. So 13 years ago, before I got married, to me, dating was easy, right? You go, you see somebody you like, you go up to them, introduce yourself, and ask them for their phone number. They write their phone number on a little piece of paper that you might lose or on your hand. You call them up. Y'all start having a conversation. Y'all go on a date. And y'all start hanging out, right? That's the way dating was prior to me getting married. And it's crazy that how times has changed and that I'm old enough to like look at how it used to be to compare it to what it is now. So after my divorce, the dating scene was a lot different. Okay. Telling a girl that you like her, walking up to her, asking for her phone number, that's weird now. People don't do that no more. It gives off creep vibes, I guess. I'm like, wait, this is how we used to do it back in the day. Can't do that no more. So the whole dating scene um, is different now. And you know, when I realized that, I said, okay, cool. Let me dive into this thing, right? And I bumped my head a few times, and that's when I realized, like, whoa, this ain't it, partner. Let me pump the brakes. Let me slow down. Let me figure some stuff out. And it made me like really one of the things that it did was, like I said, going through this whole divorce process. You gotta become self-aware. You have to, seek out counseling, seek out therapy, and like really get the help because you can mess around and try to move too fast, not just with dating, but just through the process. Move too fast and miss out on some of the valuable lessons that you needed to learn. So, the first thing that I learned about dating after divorce is that I got to take time to process. A lot of people don't like the process. pain, right? Or if we experience pain, we're told that we're not supposed to express it. If you're angry, if you're upset, if you're bitter, these are all bad emotions and you need to get over them. And I'm here to tell you, no, you're not. You're not supposed to. You're not supposed to hide these feelings. You're not supposed to, you know, get over it. You're supposed to experience them. And a lot of people don't experience these emotions because we're told that, they're bad. Something wrong with you if you feel this way. Well, something is wrong with you. You just got a divorce. That's a life-changing situation. And for most people, it's traumatizing. So to try to avoid feeling the feelings that comes with the divorce, the anger, the sadness, the frustration, the bitterness, to try to avoid not feeling those things is to not be human. And to not be human is to be a robot. And if you think about robots, how many of y'all technology devices have malfunctioned or fizzed out because it was overworked or haven't been able to work properly because it was overused? That's how it is when you don't process the actual event of divorce. You know, for some of you, maybe you had an image to uphold, right? You were seen as like this go-to person, or you were seen as like this person of wisdom, this person of virtue, this person that everybody looked up to. And now you're going through a divorce. So you want to uphold this image. So you try to act like, oh man, I'm good. It just happened. I'm okay. The Lord is doing this. The Lord is doing the work, especially for Christian people. Listen, Christians, it's okay to be mad. It's okay to be hurt. It's okay to be sad. It's okay to not feel normal, right? Especially when we experience these life-changing events. Too often we try to hide it. We wear a mask because we don't want people to know that we're hurt. We want to appear strong. When the truth of the matter is, we're weak. And it's okay to be weak. You just had something traumatic happen to you, you know? And every divorce ain't peaceful, right? There's some people who go through a divorce where they realize, you know what? This ain't working. Let's just end things. They go about their way and that'll be all right. But there's some people that experience some traumatic things. Like you found out your spouse was cheating. Not only was your spouse cheating, they was cheating hard. You know, you found out, your spouse been lying. Maybe while you were married, the way that you found out that your spouse was cheating, maybe they ended up pregnant by somebody else, or end up impregnating somebody else. Like divorce is something that's like, yo, this is a serious thing, and we try to avoid those feelings that come with it. You want to knock them out. Some of y'all want to kill them. You're upset, you're frustrated, and we try to suppress these feelings when the reality is, yo, you need to feel everything. You have to process this because it's the only way that you can get past it. What happens when we don't process it is that it's like a pressure cooker, right? You know, as time goes on, you know, things just it gets tighter and tighter. So eventually that you're gonna burst like a volcano. So you gotta start feeling these feelings. Find you a healthy way to express these feelings. This is why I encourage therapy heavily, because it's in those therapy sessions, it's in sitting on those couch where you can say all the curse words you want. You can call all the names you want. You can yell. You can scream. You can feel those feelings and get it out of your system so that you can move forward and process what you just experienced. I've seen too many people try to navigate life without taking the time to process what they just experienced. Now, you may be able to go and function, you know, but you're still broken. A while ago, I shared this picture of this broken sink, right? Like the sink was all shattered, but the water still ran. And the thought behind that was this sink technically still functions, right? You use the sink to wash your hands, wash your face, turn on water. It still functions, right? But it's damaged, right? It's not functioning properly, right? When you turn on that water in the sink, water gets on the floor. When you turn on that water in the sink, water gets everywhere. It makes a mess. It causes other problems in other areas, right? You let that water get on the floor, it sit longer enough, it's gonna mess up your floor tiling. You let that water get in spaces it ain't supposed to get in, it's gonna cause electrical fire. It's gonna cause so yeah, it functions, but it's not functioning to the best that it should be functioning. And that's how we are, you know. You may go through divorce, and you may think, you know what, I'm good. I still go to work, I'm good. I still come home with the kids. I'm good. I'm still able to do this. But the reality is you're not good. You're not good at all. You're functioning while you're broken. And until you process what you just experienced, you're gonna cause a lot of damage. You may not see it now, but you'll see it in the long run. One of my greatest fears when I first got my divorce was that 10, 15 years from now, my kids will look back and be like, yeah, man, I don't like my dad. And I'm sitting up here, old man getting old, my kids don't want to come over no more. Kids don't call, kids don't talk to me because I damaged them because of what I was feeling. So I had to go and process those feelings, right? I had to go and process how I felt. I went to therapy, sat on the couch. I said all the MFers. I said all the B words. I screamed. I shouted. I cried. Even after that, you know, I I I'm the person that filed for divorce, but I still despise my ex-wife. And it was okay that I felt that. I was angry. I was frustrated, you know, having to fight in custody court to prove that I'm a good to prove that I'm a good person. Go to court and my ex and her lawyer trying to say that I'm some crazed man, that I'm unfit to be a parent, and that they're worried about the safety of the kids. And I was just this big angry black man, and I'm sitting there like, no, I just want my kids to go home after that court date and not have my kids at home because of the things and the lies that were told was frustrating. I would have been a fool to try to say, oh man, that don't affect me. I'm good. And I would have went to work. Somebody probably would have said something to me. I would have snapped off. This is why you have to process these things. Your ex hurt you, hurt. Your ex frustrates you, made you mad, made you angry, made you sad, broke your heart. Feel those feelings. It's gonna suck, but you have to feel those feelings because if you don't, eventually, at some point in time, it may happen sooner than later. It may happen later than sooner, but you're gonna explode. So this is why it's vital that you process your feelings. I see this too many times, right? Especially when we're moving on to dating. Just to circle it back to dating, I see people hop in relationships right after right after their divorce and act like, oh, I'm good. And I be feeling sorry for the person that they date because like, yo, they don't even know that this person got a lot of baggage that they haven't let out yet. We all got baggage, so that ain't no knock to nobody. But there's a certain type of baggage that come with unprocessed emotion, unprocessed feelings. Because eventually you're gonna lash out on that person that you're dating, right? Eventually you're gonna mess up something good, something that could have potentially been good, and you messed it up because you know you didn't process your emotion. I'll never forget. I think it was like a few months after my divorce, met this young lady. Oh, she was fine. She was beautiful, nice, nice, nice shape, real smart, beautiful hair, nice Puerto Rican, beautiful lady, right? And she was a great person, great to talk to, funny, all this other stuff, right? And in my mind, because I haven't really truly processed the divorce, I'm like, all right, yeah, I'm good, man. You know what I'm saying? See, I can move on, man. And she bad, I'm good. So we talking, and like one night, I think my ex did something, and later on that night, I'm talking to, the girl, and I must have like just unleashed my emotions. Like I had a triggering moment. I broke down in the moment, and like when I got done, I looked at the phone. It was FaceTime. The look that she gave me, I'm like, damn, I done messed up. Crap, man. This and we from there, like things kind of like just dwindle, right? So I say that to say, listen, y'all, don't be trying to rush into the relationship until you process what you feeling. All right, let me move on. All right, because I want people to be free. I want people. It's dating after divorce ain't hard. The hard part is dealing with you after divorce. So I want people to be able to figure things out so they not finding themselves in these situations. All right. So the first thing you have to do is give yourself time to process the actual divorce. This is the next thing, and this is the biggest thing. Give yourself time to heal. Y'all be going into these relationships as the same person you just got out of the last relationship with. Y'all be going into these relationships still broken, still hurt, still mad. Listen, man, it's a process, man, and you have to take the time. Okay? So you gotta take time to heal. The reason why it's important that you take time to heal, number one, is for yourself. You need healing for yourself, man. If you not good, you can't be good to nobody else. And that's dating, that's your family, that's your kids, that's your job. If you're not good internally, you're not going to be able to be good to anybody else. So take the time to heal. All right. Secondly, why it's important that you heal is because you don't want to bring those past issues, those old emotions into a new relationship. When you're not healed, the moment that something triggers you or reminds you of something that happened in your last relationship, you're either going to run from it, you're either going to lash out at it, and the person that you rushed into this relationship with is going to experience all of that. And it's not fair to them. It's not fair to them at all. And we try to cope with it by saying like, "Oh, it was them. See, they wasn't ready for me. They couldn't handle." No, nobody should be handling you. You need to get healed. You have a problem. I'm gonna sit down right now and take a break because I'm getting used to this walking thing. Sit down and take a break. You have to heal after your divorce because, like I said, man, you'll have things that'll happen that remind you of your last relationship that'll be triggering, and you start lashing out at the person that you're seeing. And if you're not healed, not only will you lash out and you'll be triggered, but also you'll run to the familiar. This I tell people this all the time. When you don't heal, right? When you don't heal fully, you run to things that are familiar, things that you feel, even though they aren't safe, they're safe to you because you at least you know how it goes, right? Um, the way I express this is, or the way that I explain this is that I would rather step into a bad relationship that I at least know this is how this relationship might go versus stepping into an unknown situation that I have no control over, that I can't predict what's going to happen because I don't know what that's like. So I'm going to run to something that's familiar. And that's what a lot of us do when we aren't healed. We run to things that are familiar. We run to things that gives us that not necessarily safety, but gives us control, right? If if I know this is the type of person that this person is, or whatever, when I'm not healed, I may go to it, like I said, because I'm like, oh yeah, I know what to expect. So because I know what to expect, I know how to navigate it. When the reality is, we keep going back to these toxic type of relationships, these relationships that don't bear no fruit, these relationships that do nothing for us because we aren't healed. So you have to get healed, man, because when you're not healed, you're gonna end up in another relationship. You might end up divorced again. It might be toxic again. It's like, yo, you just wasted more time. I would rather take the next 3 to 5 years, be single, heal, and get in a relationship that's healthy, than take the next 3 to 5 years and date 3 to 5 people that are all unhealthy and toxic. And then at the end, like, oh man, I'm just gonna settle because ain't nobody out here. I'm just gonna accept what's out there. Nah, heal. A lot of your relationship problems stems from a lack of healing because you either you need validation, either you're lonely and you need comfort. I told people the other day, one of the things that I struggled with was loneliness when I first got my divorce, and it wasn't until I prayed and I heard God say that what you're calling loneliness is peace. Because we're not unhealed and we're still hurt and we're broken, our perception of certain things is off. It's skewed, right? We see peace as loneliness, right? We see chaos as safety. We see our perception is just off because we're broken. It's like looking through some glasses that got broken lens. You don't see what it really is. It's a form of what it is, but it's not the true representation of what it is. And it's not until we're healed that we can see things for what they are. Now, granted, this ain't gonna say you can't avoid you're gonna avoid all mistakes. You're gonna avoid all relationship bad decisions. But this is to say you'll be able to make better decisions. You'll be able to make clearer decisions. You'll be able to see red flags before they happen. And even that, be careful about that too, because I experienced that before. When you're not healed, you'll see things as red flags when they're not really red flags. This is why it's hard. This is why it's important that you get healed, right? The moment that you see something that, like I said, triggers you, reminds you, you like, nope, I ain't doing that. Nope, I ain't going that way, right? You don't read situations right. So this is why it's important that you get healed. So the first thing you got to do is take time to process. The next thing you got to do is take time to heal. Lastly, the last thing that you got to do, okay? This is not the last thing, there's more things to do, but these are just 3 things that I'm giving. Take time to forgive. Now, this is a big one. You may say that in order for me to heal, I got to forgive. True, but you can heal without forgiving. The problem with that, though, is that that thing that you haven't forgiven will always have a hold on you. It'll always keep you bound. This is why it's important to forgive. Now, you may be thinking, who I got to forgive? I'm not forgiving my ex. They did this. You got to do that, but that's not the most important person to forgive. The first person that you have to forgive is yourself. There's so much freedom in forgiving yourself. You see, when we go through these divorces, when we go through bad experiences, we start blaming ourselves like, man, I knew better. I shouldn't have got myself in that situation. You regret the decisions that you made, right? You blame yourself for allowing yourself to be in those type of situations. And you're hard on yourself. And it's hard for you to move forward because you like, I'm gonna mess it up. I'm gonna do something dumb. I'm gonna make a mistake. But it's not until you forgive yourself that you find freedom, right? I'll never forget this. One of the things that really held me bound post divorce was that this perception of who I was to other people, not even to other people, to my ex-wife, right? I uh I wasn't the best husband. I can say that proud, not proudly. I can't say it proudly because it's the truth. I can say that because I wasn't, right? I wasn't the best husband. I mean, I wasn't terrible, but I wasn't the best husband. I did things that I shouldn't have done. I lied, I hid things, I kept things secret. And like those things were eating away at me. Not necessarily because um, I was ashamed that I did those things, because I did feel a sense of regret, but more so because I did those things, but that's not who I was. That's not who I am. And like this perception that my ex had of me was that I was that person. That's who I was. And that was the furthest thing from the truth. So one day I said, you know what? I can't get over this. I have to take back control of the narrative of who I am. I have to take control of that, because until I do that, I won't be free. I'll be bound to the fear of, what if she tells somebody this? What if she tells somebody that? What if people find out about this? And so now I'm just sitting there like bound to this, like I can't move, I can't operate, I can't go here because people will find this out, people will think this. And one day I sat down and I said, you know what? I did do those things. I was wrong. I shouldn't have did those things. So I sat down and I wrote a letter or an email, because people don't write. I still write letters. I'm a romantic type. I like to write letters. You know what I'm saying? So I'm, hey, dear so and so, oh how I love thee, in very Shakespearean language. I don't know why I'm going there right now. That's not what we talking about. But anyway, I wrote an email to my ex, and I confessed to everything that I did wrong in our marriage. And I asked her to forgive me. She cursed me out. She ain't "I'm forgiving you. You ain't, don't text me on this or whatever," which was cool. But the truth of the matter is, it really wasn't about her. It really wasn't for her. It was for me. I needed to free myself from those mistakes. I needed to free myself from those poor choices that I made. You see, a lot of y'all struggling right now because even though maybe you weren't 100% at, nobody is ever 100% at fault for the failure or the breakdown of a relationship. Everybody plays a role in the failure of their relationship. And you may be held bound to some of those things that you did, whether it's you're in denial about it, or you just manipulative and you're trying to lie like you didn't do those things when you did do those things. Whatever the case may be, at some point, man, you're gonna have to own that. You're gonna have to own, you're gonna have to own what you did. And until you own what you did, you're gonna keep hitting your head against this wall. People gonna keep coming at you. You're gonna still feel like you gotta hide something. You're gonna feel like you still gotta defend yourself, right? Be free. Own what you did. Forgive yourself for it. When you can't forgive yourself for it because you ain't owned it yet, right? If you cheated on your spouse, you cheated on your spouse. Own that. Admit that. The relationship is over with. Lying about it ain't changing nothing. So own it. Tell the truth. If you cheated, you cheated. If you lied, you lied. If you were abusive, you were abusive. Free yourself from that. Own it. This is what you did. These are the choices you made. This is the decisions that you chose. Own it so that you can forgive yourself for it. Because until then, you're just gonna be in denial. And then you're gonna take that same denial into the next relationship, and you're gonna be a liar, a manipulator in that relationship as well. If you really want to stop feeling this feeling of like, man, people think the word number one, stop worrying about what people think. But in the same breath, you should be concerned with how people view you. It's like it's a weird thing. It's a weird thing. Yes, don't care what people think. Live your life. But at the same time, care what people think. It's weird. I can't explain it. Maybe one day I'll have a revelation on how to explain that. But that's the truth of the matter. At some point, man, you're gonna have to own your flaws. You're gonna have to own your mistakes. And until you do, you're gonna keep blaming everybody else. You're gonna be in denial, you're gonna be a liar, you're gonna be a manipulator. And when people hear manipulator, this is something that I just recently just got some type of revelation on. When we hear the word manipulator, we our vision of the person is just like this evil person that's just rubbing their hands in a villainous way and just trying to see what can I get away with. A manipulator is simply somebody that alters situations to their benefit, whether it's in whether it's in a, like a the motive of it is evil, because most times it is, and sometimes it can just be because you're trying to keep yourself safe. You manipulate situations to your benefit, right? Some of y'all are still manipulators. right? Emotional manipulators, right? You don't give people the fair chance to know who you really are or to know what they really getting into because you fear, oh man, if they find out who I really am, they not gonna love me. If they find out who I'm really am, they gonna judge me. So you manipulate emotions, right? You present yourself in a way that ain't really you. You have to own those things and forgive yourself because if you don't, like I said, you're gonna take it into the next relationship. I don't care if you get remarried and the man fine and he got all this money and the girl is fine, her body banging, boom, pow, bang, bang. She got everything. She got junk in the trunk. She got junk up top. She pretty in the face. I don't care. You're gonna take who you was into that next relationship until you really deal with you, until you forgive you, until you be honest with yourself and say, you know what? I was jacked up. I did some dumb stuff. I shouldn't have did that. I gotta, okay, Tommy, this is what I have to do. I literally sat down and wrote down everything that I could think of that I did in my relationship that impacted my relationship negatively. I wrote all those things down. And then I went line by line. Tommy, I forgive you for. Tommy, I forgive you for it. Telling myself this so that I can live in this freedom and experience what it's like to not have those things over my head. That did two things for me. Number one, it took my defenses down. I no longer had to defend myself, right? When people would bring up those things, I now can say, "And I told y'all about that. I told you, I know I did that. I was wrong. I shouldn't have did that. You right. You was terrible. Yeah, I was a terrible person. Yeah, I did do that. Okay. What now? I now control my narrative of who I am as a person. The second thing it did, it just freed me to be able to like just not care and like to really focus on me and not focus on my ex. Okay. That's the first person you got to forgive. Okay. Forgive yourself. The next person you got to forgive, and I know you ain't going to like to hear this, you got to forgive your ex. I ain't saying y'all got to be best friends, but you got to forgive your ex because until you do, you're gonna always. One thing that used to frustrate me is when anytime I would hear people that talk about their ex, oh that stupid dude, that dumb woman, that big. I almost curse. I'm not supposed to curse on live. They anytime that name is brought up, it changes their mood, right? It changes how they move. It changes their feelings. It's like, yo, that person got control over you. You can't even be in the same room with this person without feeling some type of way. This is why it's important that you gotta forgive your ex, especially if you got kids. That's a big list. If you got kids, all this stuff is multiplied by 10, by 100. You got to do all of this stuff because if you don't, all of this stuff gonna impact the kids. But you have to forgive your ex. You gotta let it go. Forgiveness don't mean forget, right? Forgiveness don't mean like y'all gotta come back together. And people be saying forgiveness don't mean reconciliation. It does. But reconciliation don't mean what y'all think it means. Y'all think reconciliation mean that we gotta come back together and that we gotta be friends again, that we gotta have relations. No, reconciliation simply means putting things back in order. Okay. So you have to reconcile with your ex. You have to forgive her. You got to put things back in order. Okay. Because if you don't, this is what it looks like. Your ex now is over you. Even though they don't want to be over you, they ain't thinking about you, but you putting them over you, right? Everything that they do, you're gonna think that is against you. Everything that they do, you're gonna take personal. Everything that they say, you're gonna take personal. Even when they are out to get you, you're gonna take it even personal. You're gonna let small stuff impact your day. When the reality is, yo, you gotta let that stuff go. It'd be times where my ex wife would send me some crazy email. I'll just leave it on red. I don't even respond. Like it's just you have to forgive and like let go because you got to know, yo, especially when both parties of the relationship are hurt or both parties of the relationship went like was for me now moving forward when my ex would do things, my perception of it was, man, she hurt. God, let me pray for her. Like I hope she get whatever healing she needs. I hope that she good. Now there's times I'm again, this is a process, y'all. Sometimes you but for the most part, it's just like, yo, She hurt. This that's her. It's not against me. It's she's hurting. And you don't I don't let that bother me. I don't let that affect my day to day. I don't let that affect my mental or my emotional states. Listen, I be going weeks without even thinking about my ex's name until we gotta deal with the kids or do something with the kids. I sometimes forget she exists. And I don't say that like no, like you don't take it that way. But I'm just saying when you forgiving somebody and you're at peace, none of that other stuff matters. Like it don't bother you, it don't impact you, it don't affect you, you know? So you have to learn how to forgive your ex because like I said, forgiveness ain't we hear it all the time. Forgiveness ain't for them, forgiveness is for you. Forgiveness is you taking back the control that they had over you emotionally. You know, I know when somebody's still bitter about their exes, the moment that you mention their name, they do a little, huh, yeah, that dude, that nigga, that they instantly you see like this their mood shifts, right? It's you have to forgive them because if you don't, man, you're gonna bring that into your next relationship. One of the worst things type of relationship, like again, I've been single for the most part the last 4 years. And I have been on dates and I have been out with different women and stuff. And now when I go on dates, so this is the cool thing about like processing, taking time to process, taking time to heal, and taking time to forgive. When you go on these dates, you now don't ask like the surface questions. You get straight to the nitty gritty. Hey, how do you deal with offense? How do you deal with somebody that made you mad? Do you hold grudges? Like these, like real questions, right? So sitting on some dates, I would go on dates and then I would ask about the person's last relationship. So what was your last relationship like? And their entire description of their last relationship was, oh, my ex was a dog, my ex was this, he was trash, he was this terrible person, this and that. And then they go on this rant about how terrible. And throughout that, I'm just sitting there like the moment they do that, I'm already checked. I'm like, yeah, this ain't gonna work. This ain't it, or whatever. You go into these relationships and you just spill over your hatred of your ex to this new partner. And if you have so this and this is another thing. The great thing about being healed is that you end up finding and dating and pursuing other healed people. If you go on a date and you venting about your ex, talking about how trash they is and this and that person just eating it up and enjoying it, hey, that person ain't healed either. And that's a bad situation you're gonna get yourself in. Like, so you go into these relationships and you ain't healed, I can start walking again. I've been sitting down for too long. You get into these relationships and you not healed, you start spewing all of this hatred for your ex, trying to paint this picture of your ex so the person that you with now can hate you. It's my truth. I don't care at this point. So my ex's boyfriend or whatever, like she was dating a guy and I don't know the guy. I never knew the guy, whatever. And when we finally met, like he had like this animosity towards me. And as a man, I'm like, yo, dude, we don't even know each other. Let's get to know each other before you have this idea of who I am or whatever. When we go into relationships like that, it's not it's not a good look. It's not it's not healthy. It doesn't breed health. So when I go into situations now and girls start talking about their ex, my first thing like, hey, so what did you do though? How did you handle that? What was your role in it? And if they respond in a way like, you know what, you're right, I did do this, I shouldn't have did this, that, you see that there's potential for like, okay, all right, yeah, they trying to work. But then if they respond, I ain't do nothing, I was this and that, like you see things differently when you heal. So it's very important that you forgive your ex. I don't know how I got on that tangent. Forgive your ex so that you can see things clearly, so that you don't take all of this hatred and vitriol of your ex to your next relationship. Listen, dating is hard already. Okay, dating is hard already, but dating without going, taking the time to process your divorce, taking the time to heal, taking the time to divorce, makes it that much more harder. We jump in and out of relationships because we hurt. You know, um, I see it all the time, man. some of my homies who, and it don't even be just divorce, just breakups. My homies, some of my homies, not some of my homies. You know, I got some young guys that break up with their girlfriend, and then they'll go on weekend binge of bar hopping, trying to get chicks. Little known secret, most guys don't get girls. Most guys don't get girls. So ladies, if you fearful that your man out here just smashing everybody, they not. They not. They not. Some of them are, but the majority of them not, right? So they break up, they end divorce, they go out on this whole phase. Same thing with women. You know, they break up, I'm free. And everybody just encouraging it. Everybody just said, girl, do you, girl. The fellas, I see you, big homie. And we just celebrating this destruction. Okay? Don't let people celebrate your destruction. All that, I'm free, I'm this, and I can do this. Hey, I'm telling y'all, you're gonna regret it. You're gonna look back and like, man, what was I doing? End up in situations that you don't need to be in, right? Mess around, get pregnant by an idiot, impregnate an idiot, all because you want to show your ex, I'm out here. I'm out here. That's what it sounds like when you're not healed. That's what it sounds like when you're not healed. You see all those Facebook statuses, that'd be the funniest thing. People be on Facebook, I had to drop me. I'm doing me now and all of this. Like, don't do all of that. Move in peace. If you got to post about your ex on Facebook, don't do it. If you got to post about your ex on social media, don't do it. If you in a new relationship now and you comparing that new relationship to your ex, you ain't over your ex. And I encourage that person that you're dating to get out of the system right now. Because ain't nowhere in the world you about to deal with me talking about your ex. So, guys, let's get some healing. Process those feelings, all right? Forgive yourself, forgive your ex, move forward, and just, that's how you date after divorce. All right. And you're gonna avoid being ending up in the same situation you was in that led to your divorce. All right. So I encourage y'all out there. Some of y'all may be like, I'm not getting married again. That's completely fine. But just make sure that the declaration of you not getting married again is coming from a healed place and not a bitter place. You not getting married again because you think all all niggas are dogs and this. That ain't a good place to make that decision, folks. Right? So let's get healed. Let's process these emotions and let's move forward. Let's forgive. I'm telling you, do those three things. Like I said, this is only three things. There's a lot of other things you gotta do. And get your finances together, get your hygiene together, get your life in order. But those are other things. But these three things will kickstart you stepping into that place of where you're in a good place to date again. So I'm gonna finish this walk. Got to get in shape, man. I told y'all 30 days. This is kind of like my accountability. I got to get on this live for the next 30 days. So why not go walk this trail, go to the gym for 30 days, and see how that transforms me. Okay. Again, I say all of this stuff that I'm sharing with y'all, not from this place of like I'm better than y'all. Y'all need to listen to me. I'm sharing with y'all from a place of experience and a place of learning. Till this day, I'm still learning. Till this day, I'm still learning. So, as I continue to grow, I hope y'all continue to grow. I gotta finish this walk. I'll talk to y'all later. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. I got a lot of stuff coming. I'm working on a lot of different stuff. And I can't wait to share that content with y'all. Like, follow my Instagram, my Facebook. Share this video, tag people to it. Talk to me in this video. I need some people to talk to me. I'll holler at y'all later. Peace out.